Hello, this is Martin with My IELTS Tutor, and want to thank you for joining me today. Such a pleasure to have you. Today we're going to continue our lessons on listening, and today I want to talk about things that you should consider during the listening test, and I really think these are important. So let's get started. Now, there are basically 10 key points for consideration for listening, and these are them. So you want to, number one, listen to the recording once. Number two, multitask. Number three, use a pencil. 4, guess if you don't know the answer. Number 5, don't second guess. That's an important one. Number 6, follow the directions. And number 7, there's issues with grammar that you need to consider. Number 8, correct spelling of answers. Then number 9, answering MCQ questions. There's a point to consider there. And then number 10, don't try to understand everything. So let's take a closer look at these and see what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, listening to the recording once. Now, this means that you're going to listen to the audio only one time. You don't have a second chance to listen to it again. And so you need to be focused and you need to pay attention. Now, the next thing to consider is the need to multitask. This means that you must first listen to the audio and at the same time read the questions and the options, and then write the answers as well. Now, what I really suggest you do is take the time prior to listening to the audio to read the questions. You have 1 minute to do this before the audio starts, and I really recommend that you do. Now, using a pencil. I really recommend that you use a pencil. You could use a pen, but there's a chance that you could make a mess of your question paper by crossing out incorrect answers and such. Now, with the pencil, you can easily erase your mistakes. And if you have a messy answer sheet, this could, question paper, this could cause some confusion when you transfer answers to your answer sheet. So I think using a pencil is the best idea here. Now, if you don't know the answer, guess. You do have a chance of getting this correct. Let's say it's a multiple choice question. Multiple choice questions, most multiple choice questions, you have 3 options. So that means you have the 33% chance of getting that question correct. So, and then other questions too. You should attempt every question. There's no negative marking for IELTS listening, and so you should never leave a question unanswered. All right, let's move on. On the same note of not leaving a question answered, you should never second guess an answer. I've had too many students who mark an answer and then they start thinking whether or not that's the correct answer. And then they go back and change it. It turns out that first answer was always the correct answer. So never second guess. Once you answer the question, move on to the next. Now, follow the directions. This is important, especially when you have gap fill questions such as sentence completion, summary completion, note completion, and so forth. Okay? If we look at the example here, complete the sentences, write 3 words and a number. So this means that your answer must be within the word limit, 3 words and or a number. And you have to decide how many words to write. So with the above for instance, with the above directions, you may have to write 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, a number, 1 word and a number, or 2 words and a number. So you really have to pay attention to the word limit there. Now, issues with grammar. These occur when you write words as your answer. All right? So the rule of thumb here is pay attention to the directions for one thing. If the question asks for a phrase, write the whole phrase. For instance, at the hospital. if the question asks for one word, you just simply write one word. For example, hospital. So keep that in mind. Now, the correct spelling of answers. Now, final answers on your answer sheet must be spelled correctly, okay? On your question paper, spelling doesn't matter, but you do have to have them spelled correctly on your answer sheet. So now, when you're writing down during listening, don't worry about spelling, okay? But when you transfer your answers to the answer sheet, make sure that the correct spelling is there. Now finally, no, not finally, sorry, answering multiple choice questions. Now, how do you answer these, okay? Do you write a letter or the complete option? Well, the instructions will always say write the letter. So again, follow the instructions. They'll look like what we have on the screen. So you would either pick A, B, or C. You would write that letter down. And if you have more than one option, you would write all the letters of the options that are correct. So now, finally, don't try to understand everything. There's a lot of extra information that you will hear, but keep in mind the answers may come quickly or slowly. So one answer may follow another. This is very common in section 1. The key here is to focus on listening for key words from the question. So to review, you want to make sure that you listen to the recording. You'll listen to the recording once. You will need to multitask. You should use a pencil. You should guess if you don't know the answer, and you should not second guess an answer. You do need to follow the directions, and you do need to consider issues with grammar, as well as correct spelling of answers. And then you should follow the directions for multiple choice questions, and then don't try to understand everything. Okay, so that's it for today. I want to thank you for joining me.